It's your boy Danye BC2, and today, does height matter as a man? And I think this is a conversation that needs to be had, and we got to start figuring this out. So I got a guy here that spoke on the Chris Williamson podcast, and he's basically talking about height and how girls view it. So let's see what he's talking about, man.
So there's a bunch of different evidence that women like a very tall man who is not too very tall, right? So if you graphed women's height preferences, it would look kind of like a candy cane, right? Where it's like if you're very short, then adding a few inches really increases your attractiveness. Like the difference between being 5'4" and 5'8", that's a big deal, right? That's going from a bit of a problem to actually probably not that much of a problem.
I like how he brought that up, and I'm 5'8", so height. I say height hasn't really been a problem for me, but 5'4", that is kind of wild. Now, listen, I know a couple short guys that they can still. I mean, they mouthpiece. They good with game, so they can always spit game and get some women. But that 5'4" to 5'8" range, that is a big difference. Like you can see it. Like it's dramatic. So
then it starts to taper off around 6'1", right? So it's like you're getting every inch is sick, and then around 6'1" it starts to taper off, which is hilarious because the average height of American men, I think it's about 5'9", and on dating apps I think it's about 6'1". I'll have to double check that, which is just ridiculous. Height inflation is such a disaster.
Yep.
I'm considering getting leg extensions just because that.
Heightflation and hoflation,
right.
the two maladies of 2024.
Yeah. So,
my guys out there on these dating apps is capping. 6'1" is the average. Dang.
Once you get to around 6'1", you start to get kind of diminishing returns per inch, and that seems to settle down around 6'3". 6'3" to 6'5", there seems to be about, even. It doesn't seem like being, maybe 6'5" is better, maybe it's not, but it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal whether you're 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". Then around 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", that's when it's like, okay, this is definitely not optimal, right? This is not ideal. But again, it's like a candy cane. So it comes down, but you're still better off being like basketball player tall than being 5'10", right? And it's interesting because this data converges with a very funny anecdotal experience. I know one of the only men ever to lie about his height on a dating app to make himself shorter. He's 6'6", and he claims that he's 6'5" because he's like 6'6", just scares him away.
Well, to be honest, like looking up, if you're a 5'6" chick, like what do you know about anything over 6 feet tall? You can't even reach 6 feet tall. Like you don't know what's up there.
Yeah.
You can't get up there.
Well, one thing that is interesting though is that it's not. So a lot of people think, and this is the intuition, is like they want a man who's taller than themselves, and it's like they want a man who's taller than average. So it's not that they're looking up and saying, "Oh, that's a lot taller than me." It's that they're looking at you and looking at the guys around you, and they're like, "Oh, he's the tallest one." That's
all
nice.
of my fucking friends in Austin are tall.
Yeah, and he makes a good point. Like, if you're taller than a woman, I don't see what the issue is in terms of being 6 foot over 6 foot if a woman is 5'3". I mean, my women out there, if you want to chime in, but I don't know how y'all. Please let me know. I mean, let me know the height that y'all guys are and what y'all experience. From my experience, I'm 5'8", and I haven't really gotten problems with my height. Like, do women ask how tall you are? Of course. Like that's one of the things when you start talking to women, they need to ask how tall you are, which then you like, and that's where y'all people on them dating apps is talking about 6'1" and over. But I don't know, man. I feel like height does play a part. Of course, you hear the talks about being 6 foot. If you're not 6 foot, then I don't want you and stuff like that. But listen, you get yourself right, you get your money up, you move a certain way, man, and you confident, it's the same results. These women are gonna come, and they're gonna come in bulk. So I mean, I think, like I said, I think he brings up some good points. Now, being 5'4" or being 6'10", you got a tougher role. You got a tougher challenge because those are like not in the norm per se. But that I gotta put myself in it. That 5'8" to 6'2", 6'3" range. That's where the money making is. You know what I mean? That's where you pretty good money. So let me know what y'all think. This video was quick, man. Like I said, I just wanted to have a discussion. I want to hear what y'all feedback. And man, what's too short? What's too tall? What's y'all results? We gonna go from there. Y'all see that Cash App at the bottom? If you're feeling generous, throw something in the pot. I would appreciate it. And I'll catch y'all on the next video.